this Way to Fire YouTube video where today I will be playing against this fella. What's your name? Where'd you come from?
I'm Richard Martin, I'm from Glossop, which is just down the road.
Fantastic. So Richard is a member of the same club that I'm in. We play a lot of Deadzone together, I have to know every time. And we even went to Spain together, didn't we?
We did.
Last trip.
Yeah, the British invasion.
Yeah, we went to Bilbao, had a fantastic tournament there back in September.
Yes, it was amazing.
And we'll actually be using some of the stuff. Richard won a prize there from some of the acrylic items that David Roman, one of the guys at the club in Bilbao, made. So you're going to be using them today, aren't you?
Indeed, wonderful examples.
Yeah, there we go. And we will be playing a 200-point patrol. We're going old school with patrol. I'll be bringing the Veer-Myn. I really like Veer-Myn. Spent a lot of time with the play testing for them to make the new beta version that you've probably seen. And got a lot of love for them. You'll see a lot of ratty goodness. And Richard, what are you bringing?
I'm bringing my forces. So a bit Pathfinder heavy.
Not just Pathfinder heavy, is it? Not just Pathfinder heavy, as you'll find out in a minute. But the most exciting thing about this back rep is that we're actually going to be playing on Richard's table. So we'll have a look at that in just a second. But Richard's made all this himself, made it modular so you can use it both for Deadzone and also for other science fiction games like Infinity and in Warpath when we get onto that. So yeah, let's have a look at the table and look at the factions. So this is the table we're going to be playing over, and you can see how amazing it is. We've got some battle zone scenery, but we've got all this hand-built red Mars-looking blocks, and you can see we've got tunnel systems here. You can go through there, all the way down here. You can see more tunnels across the back there. Absolutely amazing. Like I say, Richard's done all of this, made it all himself. It's nice when people have talent for making terrain, because I absolutely do not. But let's have a look at the factions. So this is what I'm going to be bringing. I've got a brood mother. I don't think I've ever used a brood mother before, maybe once. This is a nightmare with 2 drills. I've got a malignus with a smoke grenade launcher. And then I've got Read It and Weep, seven stalkers, one of which is a smoke grenade. That's what you do if you've got 3 points spare. And then look at these bad boys. Oh yeah, 2 tunnel runners, which well, they'll be fun. They're going to fit around this terrain absolutely amazingly. They're going to go running around all of these tunnels. That's the only reason I brought them.
So I'm bringing with me a Pathfinder Sergeant, followed by 4 Pathfinders, just to use that bonus and the splat as much as I can. To finish off the troops, I've got 2 Assault Enforcers, quite nasty now with the Frenzy, which is all good. My 1 Specialist, which is a basic dog drone with the burst laser, and then the fun toys, which are my 2 Striders. I've got 1 with a burst laser and 1 with the Genling.
Filth.
The best.
So here we are, just before we start round 1. I have chosen this side of the table because there's a bit more cover, I felt. And I actually won the recon, which is random against Pathfinders. So my recon rolls were move a couple of models forwards and look at 1 cube. So these are my guys all lined out here. You can see there's a couple of guys hiding out inside that building there as well. And then the scout moves from Richard has meant that he's moved up these Pathfinders. That one onto the gantry, 2 over there onto that tall tower, and another one onto the top of this shack. And the rest of his force is hiding out down the back there. Cool. For the command dice, I've got 5 because I've got a broodmother with tactician 2, and just 4 for Richard. And you can see that I've got 2 shoots. I'll be using my blue dice as usual. Haha, look out for the 8s. 2 extra activations, 1 dice, and Richard's got 1 move, 1 dice, 1 fight, which I'm sure he was overjoyed to receive.
Fantastic.
And an extra activation. Right, so without further ado, let's crack on with some action. So first activation for me is I've moved this tunnel runner up just 1 cube into there, and he's going to shoot at that guy on the gantry at the top. I don't like him being there. He can see my brood mother from there. I do not like that at all. So I will throw an extra dice at it. So that gives me 4 dice. Tunnel runners are hitting on 5s, and they've got weight of fire 1. AP2, but that won't matter obviously against a Pathfinder. And then 3 dice defense.
4 plus.
4 pluses. Ooh. So 2 survives, and at the moment 3, but it's an 8 I see before me.
Oh dear.
Is an 8? 3. Oh, unfortunately just wounded.
1 wound.
So I'm going to play a splat. I really want to get rid of that guy. And I get rid of the extra shoot dice. Not a splat, sorry, shoot dice. Just 3 dice this time. 2 at the minute. 2 survives. So wait a 5. If I get 1 success on this, yes! So I won't bother rolling yet because that's good enough to kill him. So 2 VPs for me, and that guy off the gantry is gone. So I'm going to play an extra activation, and I'm going to use my Malignus, who's down here. He's going to use his smoke grenade launcher to launch a smoke grenade onto this cube, and I will need 2 successes to hit that on 5s on 3 dice. I get it. Great. So the smoke goes off in that cube. Check that out, people. This one's for you, Rob Veer-Myn. You put me onto these. Look at that. That is smoke. That is genuine smoke.
It's fantastic.
Shoot through that if you can, Pathfinder.
Oh, I think we shall.
All about protecting the rats. I'm going to use a shoot dice to fire another smoke. And I'm going to place it in this cube because my big nightmare's tail is sticking out there and can be seen by those 2 Pathfinders on the rocky outcrop there, and I don't want him to die. So we'll try again. 3 dice. Can't see that cube obviously, so 5s to hit. 1 8. No, so we've missed. So it will scatter. So we'll choose 1, 2, 3 and see where it goes. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, it's actually not so bad. So it lands on this cube here. So that might still have some effect. Certainly have the -1 effect. And there we go. More smoke has been laid down. Look at that. Smoke everywhere. That's how you play with rats.
So first activation, we'll activate this Pathfinder here. We've got a clear shot on the rat at the back in the open, not behind the box. So I'll tag as a short action and then I'm going to shoot. So I'm going through adjacent to smoke. So I'll be on 3 dice, 1 for the tag, 2 for the clear shot, but lose 1 for the smoke. So I'm rolling on 4s. So not rolling well, but 2 8s. So
2 8s. Oh, I didn't see that one. Didn't even see that one down there.
4 successes.
Say, who's got broken dice now?
Yeah, I know. This will do.
And then 5 to survive.
We're seeing this.
Just 2. So he's dead.
Okay, so going to use my extra activation. Activate this Pathfinder here, and we're going to shoot this little fella at the back.
No.
Because I can. With this Pathfinder, I'm tagging and shooting again. So 3 dice, 1 for the tag, 1 for height, -1 because we're adjacent to smoke. So 4 dice, 4 plus. So
ouch.
3. And
2
then
survives. 8.
4.
So that last one takes him off.
Yeah.
So I just moved this Veer-Myn Stalker up into the smoke there. So he's also behind obstacles. So even if the smoke goes, he still gets some cover. And obviously he's close enough to potentially threaten Pathfinders, particularly if I get a move dice next turn. And this, I played an extra activation to then move this Nightmare to do the same sort of thing. He has moved up into that smoke cube, so obviously can't be targeted by anything requiring direct sight. And also he's tucked behind that rock, so even if the smoke goes, he's not getting a clear shot on him at least. And then over to Richard. So, Rich, what's this?
The big toys, or the first of them anyway. So, Strider used my 3 move dice to get it up onto the top here, and then from his position up here, I can see the Broodmother tucked away in the corner cube. So we'll take a shot, because we're drawing line of sight adjacent to the smoke, it'll be a -1. So we'll go for, so I've got height, which brings it to 4, -1 for the loss of smoke. I'm going to use my extra dice to bring that dice back. So I've got weight of fire 2, so 4 pluses. So there's a 2 and an 8, so roll 2 more dice. So wait, in fact, do the 8 first.
Yeah, do the 8 first. Yeah.
So that's a 1.
And now you can roll a 2.
So 2 dice for the weight of fire 2. So there's another 1. So that gives me 4 successes.
It's not as bad as it could have been actually.
Yeah.
And then surviving on 4s for the Broodmother.
Oof. So with your armour 2.
I'll roll it anyway, but obviously armour 2, so yeah, survives it.
But with suppression, the pin is cubed.
Yeah.
The pin
is cubed?
The cube is pinned.
The pin is cubed.
I'm awake.
So just catching up with a couple of activations, I moved this Stalker up there into the cube just in front of the smoke, but quite well hidden I hope. Rich moved forward his Strider with Genling just to stand there, sort of getting into better position really. Then I activated my Broodmother, who just stood up and repositioned in the cube. And then Richard moved his Dog Drone over here to take this 1 point objective. And then finally I moved this Veer-Myn Stalker up here to claim this intel, which I already knew was there because I got to look at that item at the start of the game. He was pinned in the cube with the Broodmother, so he turned himself, stood up, and then got movement of 2, obviously, so he can get up both those cubes. So as Richard says, this is a gamey move. Right, so this tunnel runner has moved into that building, and you can see there is a small gap there between Richard's awful terrain, because he's left a great big gap. I mean, come on. And so my tunnel runner can see through that gap onto the Pathfinder on the top of the hill. So I'm going to shoot at him. But unfortunately, I am catching the smoke that's down there, so I'm only going to get to roll 2 dice. I'm hitting on 5s with weight of fire 1, and Richard's surviving on 4s. Ooh, so he's got 2. I've got 1 at the minute, but weight of fire.
With the magic 8?
No, it was no good. It was worth a crack.
Brave, 2 knives.
So Richard's activated his Pathfinder Sergeant to...
Bravely stand there.
Stay exactly where he is. I therefore have been forced to activate this Stalker and move him into a potential place to get shot, but I'm just tucking myself behind that wall there a tiny bit, and obviously I'll pick up smoke because I suspect his Pathfinder's going to try and shoot me now. Okay, so Richard's tagging in and shooting, but obviously picking up the smoke, so he's rolling 4 dice on 4s. Oh!
That's
awful. Take that all day.
Awful.
Here's the survives. Oh, he loves it. Loves it. 2 knives survives. This is my favourite Stalker. Any Stalker that has
Shocking.
2 knives doesn't even bother with a ray pistol, because why would you? He's worth having special mention.
Yeah.
So I've just moved up this Veer-Myn Stalker into the 2-point objective. The only guy Richard's got left to activate is the Assault Enforcer. So he can potentially shoot him, but he's got no move dice, so he can't get into combat, which is the key thing.
Yep.
So Richard's final activation, cowardly activation. Cowardly.
No, supportive.
Is to move the Assault Enforcer to stick with the Pathfinder, because he's a bit nervous. I suspect that these Stalkers will probably go and rag the Pathfinder, because I'll get to go first next turn. So at the end of that turn, you can see how the board looks. The tunnel runner's hiding out there. Smoke's still on. We need to roll for that in a second. The Striders, certainly this one up here is in a powerful position, and the Pathfinders are very much in powerful positions as well with height. The end of round 1 for the objectives, the Veer-Myn are on 6, and the Enforcers are on 3. We roll for the smoke and they've both gone. Doesn't it look bare without the smoke?
It's a nice fire lanes I'm sitting there. It's great.
Yeah. He's smiling now. He is smiling now. So these are the command dice for next turn. You can see there's quite a lot of shooting for the Veer-Myn here, which is unusual, and quite a lot of what is that? Just a mixed bag, isn't it? Really, for the
really naff, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not really helping you in many ways, is it?
Not at all.
Anyway, let's start with the first activation. So let's start with the first activation. All the smoke went, so that messes me up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is something a little bit crazy.
Go for it.
I'm going to move this fella forwards a little.
Yep.
And then he's going to shoot your Strider.
Yep.
And I'm going to throw 3 extra dice at it. Because I ain't going to get a chance very often to potentially take down a Strider.
So I will throw my 1 extra dice just to have a token effort.
Right, so I'm rolling 6 dice, hitting on 5s, but with weight of fire 1 and AP 2.
Yes.
AP 2.
Could hurt.
Come on. Oh,
so 2
not
with
too
an 8.
bad. So we'll do the 8 first. Oh, sugar. And there's the weight of fire 3.
So on 4s, 2 8s. There we go. This is better. More 2A.
All right.
So we are on 1.
So who's rolling 8? So that's 3 8s
Yeah,
there. 3 8s.
So we'll take that. That's 6 successes.
That's what's known as a complete and utter waste of free
You can try again. You have a shoot dice.
Yeah, I will try again, but not at him. So I will play a shoot dice.
Yep.
And I will now shoot at something far more sensible, which is the Pathfinder over there.
No.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, I just rolled for the...
Yep.
So 2. And he survives. So, again, complete whiff.
It's going to be Strider forward.
And he's just gonna stop there, right? He's not gonna do anything.
The one that's clear in the open underneath him, I might take a pop shot at.
Oh, really? That poor little guy there. Just
because he's the scariest and closest one of them all. So
okay, all right.
You know,
if you must.
So that's going to be 1 for height, 2 for the open. So 6 dice, weight of fire 2.
Okay.
So that's 4 with an 8.
Yep.
So for the 8. Yep, and the 2 for the weight of fire.
All right, get on with it.
That's another 8.
Are you watching this? YouTube world?
So that is 6 successes.
So I'm going to get 3 8s now, right?
You've got it.
No, I say 2, but that's a very dead rat. Okay, extra activation from Richard with a Pathfinder, tagging and shooting this stalker in the open, not in the open, just behind that block there.
Okay, so that would be 5 because of height. 4.
Lots. 3. Oh, he's wounded.
He's wounded.
Wow. How excited I was by a successful wounding rather than dying.
Surprise!
So I've just activated that wounded Veer-Myn to run forwards onto the dog. I couldn't get to that strike team up there because unfortunately I didn't roll any move dice. So he's going to leap into this combat. The dog drone can only survive on 6s, but my guy is obviously wounded, so Rich will get extra dice for that. So 4 dice for me on 4s and 4 dice for Rich on 6s.
Go for it.
Oh, pretty good. 1 8. Just 3. And 0.
0. So that is 1 dead dog.
One dead dog. So Richard is using his central Pathfinder. He's going to tag and shoot at 2 knives.
2 knives just died. So
no smoke this time.
Yep.
So you need to use the spat.
I didn't need to, but I want to. Because there's a scary thing staring at me.
Right, okay.
All right, fine. Move away from.
Right, okay.
So 4s. It's just 1 8. So 3.
Still 3. Come on, 2 knives. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Survival of 5s. Oh, darn it.
Dead 2 knives.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. So
Because of cheeky shenanigans, Rich, we didn't explain this very well just before. So Rich uses splat to tag 2 knives, which then means he's got short action left, so he's just moved that Pathfinder across into the other cube. So this tunnel runner is very gently negotiating this tunnel system under here, and he's poked his nose out though because he's going to shoot at that Pathfinder on the end, the one who's not activated. So just 3 dice for me, hitting on 5s with weight of fire 1, and 3 dice surviving on 4s for Rich. It evens at the minute, so this needs to come up 5, and I would wound. So we'll play our shoot dice to repeat the same. That's better. There's the 8, and we'll wait to fire that.
So there's an 8.
I got 4. So he's wounded. So that Pathfinder just activated, the wounded one, just moved across 1 cube and is now going to shoot at my Veer-Myn all the way back over there. He's already tagged, but
so range 6. Yeah.
He's just in range, and so you're going to have 5 dice, I think.
Yep.
Tagging a height.
So that's 4.
I need to save more than my dice number. He's dead.
Yep.
So I just activated this Malignus and just moved him up there because there wasn't really anything else to do with him. He couldn't shoot with his smoke grenade launcher because it's indirect. And then Richard's done another shoot. Look how gamey Richard is.
Yeah, of course.
He's moved up there and firing and gelling through that little gap. I mean, only an absolute idiot would do something like that. Oh, actually, I did it earlier, didn't I? Yeah, okay.
I'm going to vaporise a rat.
You're going to vaporise 1 whole rat. Well, probably more effective than my shoot was.
Well, we'll see. It's not got weight of fire in it, so it's 5 dice.
Gelling to kill a rat.
That's not good. It's only 3.
3. It's pretty good. Come on. There's the 8.
The rat has survived.
He lives. Opportunity not to be missed. The nightmare is going in there. I wish I did nearly bring the one with the big drill. That would have been fun. But this guy's got Frenzy 1 and AP 1, I think. AP 1, Frenzy 1. And he fights on 4s, more importantly. So let's have a crack at this Strider. Okay, 4 dice for each of us. Surviving on 4s for Rich and fighting on 4s for me, but with Frenzy 1. Oh! There's the 8 was missed, and then a Frenzy on that. Yes, 5.
So I've got
No, it's only AP 1, so his armour saves him. But we are locked in combat until he walks away in a minute and shoots the which is a classic Strider trick. Yeah. So just summing up some of the activations that we just did, because there weren't any, they were just movement. So Assault Enforcer moves on to this objective. My Veer-Myn moves up here to hide out there, ready to jump on one of these guys in a moment. My Broodmother moved into cover. Rich used his Assault Enforcer to just move across to support the other guy.
Pathfinder Sergeant,
and the Pathfinder Sergeant is doing exactly what he does, leading from the rear. And then the final thing was my Veer-Myn ran up the side of this building to claim the 2-point objective. So at the end of this turn, I am up to 9 and Rich is on 7. And that's the end of turn 2. The start round 3, these are the command dice. Lots of shoots randomly for the Veer-Myn, and so I have a mixed bag again for the enforcers. So, Rich gets first activation.
Okay.
First activation, Strider with the burst laser, and obviously heavy burst laser, moves up there and is going to clear shot down onto my Broodmother.
3, 1 for height, 2 for the clear shot, and then 1 extra dice. 7.
Okay.
On 4s.
Okay, go for it. Wait, fire 2.
So we got
2
2
8s.
8s.
Hang on, I just want to dispel this.
Yeah.
I just want to dispel this 8s thing about my blue dice.
Just gave them to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait for fire 2, so 2 more. So that gives me a total of 8 successes.
Right, okay, well, 3 dice to survive. Survive with 2, armour 2, but 4 get through. She's only size 2, so she is dead. So Rich is using a free shoot dice to shoot my rat over the back there. So just the extra dice for height.
So there's 4 with an 8.
Jesus.
5.
He doesn't even need his weight of fire. 1 survivor is dead rat. So this tunnel runner just poked his nose out and he's going to shoot at the wounded Pathfinder. Okay. 3 dice 5s versus 3 dice 4s.
So there's an 8. So I'm on 2.
And I got weight of fire 1, so just using nothing. Right, shoot dice then, so just do the same again. Try and take this guy out. 3 dice again.
Ooh,
a bit better. There's the 8.
Whoa, there's another 8.
There's another 8. And then there's the weight of fire. So
I think I'm going to be
4.
missed. Yeah, I'm definitely missed.
Dead. Killed him at last. Extra activation dice to move this tunnel runner forwards 1 cube, and he's going to shoot at the Pathfinder up ahead of him. So again, it's 3 dice on 5s. And weight of fire on that. 3.
2.
Wounded. Oh, these guys just will not die. So we'll use the shoot dice. Well, we've still got models who can shoot, and we will try again. Do the same. Weight of fire.
Did you
5. So yeah, I got 3 hits.
3 suspenders.
Oh! Richard just activated that wounded Pathfinder, and he's going to tag and shoot my rat, which he can just about. Oh, do you know what? Can he see it? Yeah, he can. I think he can see his tail. He can see his tail. So yeah, 4 dice.
2 8s.
Hang on, right. This is enough of
Thanks,
this.
Ross.
Enough of this.
So
Genuinely, 5. Right. 2 survives. He's dead.
Yep.
And more importantly, off the 2-point objective.
Yes. And with my 3...
The Veer-Myn dead pile is growing substantially.
With me move dice, going to drop into cover.
Yeah.
On the objective.
Good move. So I am going to fight here with a fight dice.
That's been used.
Because I've got one, so why not? I am on 3 dice, fighting on 4s, and you are surviving on 4s with 4 dice.
Go for it.
Ooh, an 8.
And then your frenzy.
And a frenzy.
So
4.
It's 2 with an 8. 3.
I take down all your armour, but I don't do any damage. So now I'll do
4 versus 3, so it'd be...
I've only got AP 1, so yeah, I didn't take it all down in arm either. So I will now fight you normally, and again just using 3 dice this time.
4s.
Another 8.
Ooh.
And another 8. This is the 1.
So
and the 5, and then the frenzy.
So 4 dice.
4. Not as good as it could have been. Ugh.
So 3 with an 8.
So safe.
3. Yep.
Fine. So this Strider with Genling has just walked away, so he's breaking away. So that's a standard fight. So forward, same as we just did actually. So 3 dice fighting for me to try and get him as he goes away. And the frenzy, just 2.
4. So
oh yeah, now he rolls not so well,
so
but
just
it doesn't
2.
matter. He gets away.
I'm then going to
should have bought the one with the big drill. Should have bought the big drill.
So
yeah, so clear shot down onto bone
dice.
Dead rat coming up.
4s. So that is 4 with an 8. 5.
Okay, I'm surviving on 4s. 2. How many did you get?
So there's 4. So you got 2. So that leaves me with 3. What size is he?
I'm size 2. The armour doesn't count, so he is dead. And that is another 2 VPs to young Rich.
Okay.
I only have a Malignus left, so I've passed. And then Richard has moved this Assault Enforcer into that cube to claim the 2-point objective. So Rich just jumped this Assault Enforcer down using his jump pack. Do you want to move 1 cube, is it?
Yeah, well it's 2. Oh, can I move another one, can't I?
Yeah.
The jump pack. So in fact I will go into
You can
here.
voluntarily fall, can't you? And then for you jump back kick.
Check the box, just because. It gives me a stun grenade.
Stun grenade. If only I had some models in which you could stun.
Yes, exactly.
So now, because you only got 1 model left, 1 Pathfinder left, I'm going to use my last activation to stand up. My Malignus, yes! Now is your moment of glory! And he is going to charge an Assault Enforcer.
Marvellous. Let's do it.
Might as well. Actually, scratch that. I'm an idiot. So he's going to stand up, walk 1 cube onto there. And then I had a shoot dice left. So he's going to shoot with his pistol, that he's also got equipped with for free, on a clear shot down onto that Assault Enforcer. Because actually, he's quite good with a... so he gets 3 normally, 1 for height, 2 for the clear shot. It's only a pistol, but that doesn't matter. But his shoot stat is 5, which isn't the worst.
I'm surviving on 4s. Surviving fast.
Ah!
So that's obscene. Right, 4.
Well, it wouldn't have made any difference if I'd gone into combat, because I was fighting on 6s. So with that roll, I wouldn't have done jack anyway. So at the end of the round, this is the state of the battlefield. There's not a lot left. Basically, I've got tunnel runners and 1 Malignus left. There's a lot of nasty enforcers left, and I think we know which way this is going. I am on 11 for the Veer-Myn, and we are on 18 for the enforcers. The Veer-Myn get to go first. This is your moment, boys, as we run into the last round. What round is it? Round 4. Yep. Round 4 for the Veer-Myn is about saving some pride, scoring some points. So we're going to activate our tunnel runner. But before we do that, we are going to activate our splat. This was where the Broodmother was, so the splat will give feral inspiration to all models in the cube around. So that's the Malignus and the tunnel runner, giving it Frenzy 1. Tunnel runner already has Frenzy 1, so we're going to go Frenzy 2. And then going to move into the cube with the Assault Enforcer and hopefully smack him to pieces.
I will move the grenade.
Okay, here we go. So, moving in and being bigger obviously gives me 5 dice on 5s. What are you going to do?
I'm going to... Oh, let's take a swing at it. Let's throw the 2 dice at it.
You're going to fight?
Let's fight.
He's going to fight!
Frenzy
He's
1.
going to fight!
We'll go down.
Right, okay, let's go for it. Here's mine. Oh, pretty good!
So I got 2. You've got...
You got Frenzy
3.
1 and I got Frenzy 2, so I get to reroll those 2.
So I just get to reroll 1 of them.
Oh, no good for me.
So 3 and 3.
Ah!
No, that's not, because that's a 4, wasn't it? So yeah, it's just 2. So I take a
So
wound.
you take a wound. That's not enough! Darn it! Extra activation for me, move this tunnel runner 1 cube, and I'm going to shoot at the Pathfinder purely because he's worth more points if I were to kill him, and he's just as easy to kill or difficult to kill as that Assault Enforcer who's just tucked behind the wall, who I could also potentially hit. So 3 dice, hit on 5s, wait fire 1. Let's do the wait fire. Ugh.
So surviving on 4s.
Nothing.
So using my activation, let's get some objectives done. This Strider, he's going to move across the gap.
He's going to tippy-toe,
and then settle himself nicely in here.
So Rich is demonstrating one of the new rules in the recent errata of FAQ. So he can move a larger model than the cube capacity, he can move across it as long as it doesn't stop on it. So he's walked across this size 2
treacherous bridge.
Look how dangerous that bridge is. It's like something from Indiana Jones. And then the Strider is now standing on the 2-point objective. Yeah, it is a dead zone. Everything's falling apart. So that's a real pain. Well, which is one. He's just rubbing it in by scoring as many as he can, which is what I would do.
Extra activation, and then we'll move 1, 2.
Oh, I thought you were going to charge me.
3 move to bravely jump up there with his stun grenade.
Playing the mission.
Playing the mission.
So, Operation score some points for the Veer-Myn. I've moved the Malignus down there. He can just about see through that gap.
Just.
Onto the wounded Pathfinder. So we're going to try and shoot him with a pistol.
Yeah.
It's just going to be 3 dice. It's certainly not a clear shot. So 3 dice hitting on 5s versus 3 dice surviving on 4s.
Nope.
Oh! That's enough actually. We won't even bother rolling the 8. So 2 victory points, yes! It's been so long since I had a victory point.
And then
I have a move dice left. The only thing I have left, on the only model I have left. So we'll move that Malignus. Unfortunately, he can't join the combat with the Tunnel Runner because his Tunnel Runner's too big. So he'll go and stand in here, making himself an absolute prime target for the Pathfinder in the back there.
Oh yes, which will need to move closer to shoot you because of the range.
Right.
Yes.
But he only needs to be 1 cube.
Yes.
Okay, as expected, that Pathfinder's going to move 1 cube across and shoot my Malignus who's tied over there. You can see through the gap under the building. I can't get the camera down there very well, but you can see him.
See his arm waving around wildly.
Whatsoever. So, okay, you can't tag him though because he's had to move.
Yes.
So, 4s to hit on 4 dice, 1 extra for height.
1 8. So there is 4.
I've seen a very high number of 8s being
shocking
today. And my Malignus is surviving on 5s. Oh, speaking of 8s, it ain't going to be enough. He's dead. So the last activation of the game, the Pathfinder Sergeant did what he's done all game, which is just activate and set it back. And then this Genling carrying Strider has moved up into that gap there, and he's going to shoot down onto my Tunnel Runner.
So 4 dice on 4s. So 3 with an 8. 4.
And I am surviving on 5s. Oh! How many did you get?
So I got 4, so that leaves me with 3.
I'm size 4, so I'm wounded. Obviously my armour doesn't count.
Yeah, all the AP.
So this is the end of the game, and you can see I've still got both my Tunnel Runners. There's a lot of wounds on that one, but he's still alive. Enforcer on that one there, 2 Striders completely undamaged in the middle there. Tunnel Runner and Assault Enforcer contesting that one, and Pathfinder, and then at the back, hidden away again, is the Pathfinder Sergeant. Okay, so that's the end of the game. I've lost a game of Deadzone. Actually, I lose fairly often against you, actually. So the final score was 13 to the Veer-Myn, but most importantly, no Tunnel Runners died.
No, exactly.
And how many did you get, mate?
22.
Yeah. 22. And the Striders just...
they are
beastly.
hideous.
So, I mean, I think for me, I brought interested in this. It was nice to get the smoke down early on, but you suppressed my guy and I didn't get to use my smoke grenade. So I think I could have done another turn of extra smoke coming out, and lack of any move dice at the start sort of made a big difference as well.
The Stalkers didn't really connect this time.
Yeah.
When they get in, they're the big threat, because once they start
getting into Pathfinders,
you can't shoot back.
They can kill Pathfinders very, very easily. So once they get into them, it's good. But I didn't get close with them. But you did take them out really, really well. I didn't really bring an answer to the Striders. Having said that, I don't think Veer-Myn have a great answer to Striders. To be brutally honest, there's not enough AP with a good enough shoot stat. Certainly against Enforcers, the saving on 4s, 3 armour, size 4. I mean, spend all day. The best thing I've found in the past is to try and get them into combat and lock them down, but they can just walk away, which is what they did this time.
But it slows them down, stops them getting on objectives, which is pretty much the aim, is go park somewhere. And,
So what was your best moment? What was your
best moment? The surviving Assault Enforcer nearly got crushed by the Tunnel Runner.
We didn't show it, but I had a perfect plan of moving in, bashing him out of the way, which, come on, should have happened.
Shooting through a slither.
Yeah, and shooting across the board to the far side of the board through a tiny window, and I could just about see another insulting enforcer who I didn't think, I probably wouldn't have killed him, but it would have been fun.
It would have been fun. It would have been. I mean, yeah, it's good fun game, huh?
Yeah, so it's good. And I think, playing on Richard's table was both really interesting visually and quite challenging as well for both of us. Sort of me have two vehicles on a table with relatively limited space was actually quite tricky to get in good position. But having said that, I did manage to get around it all right.
It seems quite open for. I mean, it didn't hinder shooting as much as I expected.
Yeah,
which was surprising.
And getting up high, obviously, and me not being able to really pop you back up because my shooting was.
To be honest, I'm surprised you picked the side you did because it gave me the tower with the snow with the scouts at the start.
Yeah, that's because I generally make bad deployment rolls.
But that was when you said that. I thought, oh, well, at least there's some pluses from losing the recon roll.
Yeah, the reason I chose it was because this other side table I'd have had two queues where I wouldn't have been able to do anything with my tunnel runners and they'd have been exposed, so I was sort of stuck from that point of view. But
we can change. There's lots more.
Yeah, so it was a very fun game. I enjoyed playing on this table, so thanks very much again, Richard, for bringing the table. And thank you for giving up your time again to back rep. So, as the new Weight of Fire tradition has been established,
a wonderful mug.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Enjoy your victory tea from that later on.
Yorkshire tea when I go home. Marvellous.
Great, so thank you very much everyone. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Follow us on the Facebook page and listen out for the podcast. Cheers and bye.